Eloisa, how are you?
Fine, thanks.
Okay.
I have some questions about culture.
All right, that's interesting.
Okay, the first, what do you think about culture?
Okay, that's a really good question. Well, I think culture makes our life more interesting because, well, I said that because, for example, when you want to, for example, you compare culture in different countries, for example, Colombia and, I don't know, like Peru, or if you go to South America and people from Europe, European people, it's completely different. So it makes our life more interesting. Let's talk about, for example, Christmas. You know, it's an international celebration and all over the world. So when you see people, for example, celebrating Christmas in Europe or in every country is different and it's according to the culture. So that's why I think it's very important culture in our life. It makes us more interesting, you know, life.
The second question is, what is the influence of culture in the process of a foreign language?
Okay, well, I think it's important as well, culture, no, to understand more, to understand easier when you want to learn a language. Like, if you want to learn a language, you also need to know, for example, what phrases or what kind of words they use it. Let's talk about when they are drinking something, when they say cheers, you know? It's a different way. In English, it's different, or when somebody sneezes, like bless you, you know, say, like I would say in Spanish, you say salud, or something like that. So it's according to the culture as well. So everything is different. If you learn the culture, you also will learn more about the language. That's what I mean.
Third, how do you involve culture in the strategies you use in your English classes?
Okay, I'm very lucky because I work in a place where I have a lot of foreigners. So I invite them to my classes, you know, foreigners like people from England or United States or I don't know, like Australian people, and they go to the classroom and they speak to my students. So that's the way, no? This is the case I'm using right now. But you know, you have like different like tools. Let's talk about internet. You can also like have some videos and a culture, you know, helps me and also helps my students to learn more. So that's the way I involve culture in the process of learning English.
Okay, tell me some examples.
Yeah, like as I said, for example, even when I have, imagine you are my student, all right? You are in my classroom, and today I said, oh, I will have person who is coming from Australia. He's traveling in Colombia, and he's going to be in the classroom. So you know, when you have a native speaker for Australia, you will have some question, a conversation. So then it's the culture in Colombia. So I mean, or in the classroom, talking to you. So that's the way I involve the culture, like that, no?
Okay.
And yeah, like movies or these things as well.
What do you think about language?
Language, okay. Well, it's a really interesting question. Culture is important for us. Language is also important. It's a part of a culture, you know, like both are connecting each other. Let's say, it's the way, you know, for example, when you want to talk to somebody, you know, you use a language. In this case, English is the international language. If you go, let's say, to China, if you go to Russia, if you go to Germany, and if you speak English, like this is the language that will help you, you know? So language is really important. In this case, the international language is English. So it's very good to communicate. Or maybe if we wouldn't speak English, it will be like difficult because then you will say like, okay, there, like the bathroom, or, you know, it's difficult. Or, call me, I don't know, it's difficult. So language is really necessary for us.
Do you think it's better to learn a language in native speaker country, or you can learn it anywhere?
Okay, so you mean if I want to learn English, it's better for me to travel to a native speaker country? That's the question?
Yeah.
Or if I want to learn English, I can learn it in Colombia, for example.
In Colombia, yeah.
Well, I mean, if you have the option to go to England or Australia or United States, it's better, of course, because you have the language and you have the culture. But the problem is money. When you don't have the money, well, I think you cannot stop. I mean, you want to learn English, you can do it in a different, you never stop. I mean, if you want to learn English, you can learn it in Colombia. In my case, I haven't been in England, I haven't been to the United States yet, but I have learned English, right?
Okay.
So these are the questions?
Yeah, it's all. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Ethan. So it was very interesting question.
Okay.
So keep in touch. Bye bye.